What's up guys, and welcome to Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor gameplay. Right now I'm about to do some kind of series that I want to call the best beginner heroes for 2022. I don't know if you follow my channel on YouTube on a regular basis, but from time to time there are players who tell me, I'm quite new to the game. What hero might be the best to pick? I've picked this hero. Can you give me a beginner's guide on that or something like that? And I decided to do something at the beginning of this year, which is my best heroes for the Arena of Valor section if you just started the game. I've picked two heroes for every single role or every single purpose, and today we are going to talk about Natalya, which I think is a rather easy hero to play because she is sporting a lot of damage, and you will immediately learn how the game feels if you haven't got any escape mechanisms. And if you master Natalya and do really good on her, the road is open to play heroes such as Tulin, for example, who has a complete different gameplay. He's got basically the same damage, but it's a little bit different from Natalya, but you've got way better mobility. And I think that if you have managed to get along with a hero that has no mobility at all besides Flicker, you are good to go to be unleashed on the battlefield with more complex heroes. So she's not that difficult in terms of how she combos things and stuff like that, so you don't have to be aware of so many things. And yeah, without further ado, let's start off with my armory so that you guys know what I'm building on her. And as you can see, we are going full magic resistance. We've got enchanted kicks in here. We've got the Staff of Newell as well as the evil secrets. This is the core layout. With our spells, we are shredding through armor like a hot knife through butter. I've taken Tome of the Reaper if they have not renamed it. No, it's still the same. And then I'm building Frosty's Revenge for this additional movement speed reduction for 20% by 2 seconds. And last but not least is the Holy of Holies, because this item is just building so much damage that I have even taken it over Hecate's Diadem in this kind of build. Hecate's is usually a staple in my arsenal, but in this case we are building rather on magic resistance destruction. I'm using my build that I call Mage Damage. I've got Ability Power, Magic Penetration, and Magic Lifesteal, as well as some cooldown reduction. That means that we can just shoot out our spells a little bit more often or a little bit more frequently. That comes from 10 times Violate. Of course, you should always use level 3 Arcana if that's possible. And if you take this build, it's basically working on most of the mages. There might be some examples where you want to have Flurry instead, but I've taken this build for ages right now. It's years. It's really, I've taken this build for years and I still get along with it quite well. Second Arcana is Devour, 10 times level 3 as well. And last but not least is Hex with ability power and cooldown reduction. I mean, yes, you can take Flurry because it adds up quite nicely to the magic resistance destruction. But in this case, I want rather have more cooldown reduction so that I can dish out more damage at a higher pace. Enchantment wise, I decided to go with League of Humans with the Alchemy. I know that it has been nerfed, but I wanted to try it out if it's still suitable. So we've got Arcane Whisper to talent cooldown reduction. That's not going to apply so often if we position correctly. But if you are not really that good with positioning, you will use Flicker, which is my talent, more often. So you are going to have it when the time is right. Gunslinger is boosting our stats a little bit. As you know, Alchemy is helping you with the gold. I'm using Sacred Beat here to get a little bit more cooldown reduction on the ultimate. Ultimate is actually super strong in her. You're getting a shield and you're dealing tons of damage. And to add it up, I'm building Holy Verdict here for some additional magic pierce. So this is the build, and let's see how devastating this can be in an actual gameplay. Let's get started. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. Let's talk about the matchup quite quickly so that we can focus on the most important stuff. We've got Arduin on a solo lane. In my opinion, a really strong solo laner. He is going to be our main tank because we don't have a tank on the duo lane. On the duo lane, we've got a Joker paired up with Poira. Joker is actually quite strong, Poira isn't, so that's going to be quite interesting how this matchup is going to turn out. And then we've got Ignis in the jungle. That's a pick that this player wanted to try out, I think, for quite a long time, and now he's got the chance to do so because we don't take things too seriously. And I've got myself against Flash in the mid lane. As you can see, enemy has quite a strong matchup. Not too sure about the new support Annette. I think she is basically at the bottom of the supports right now, but they have Flash, really good mage with quite crazy mobility. That's extraordinary. His mobility is really, really good. So I said to myself, I'm going to have a hard time hitting him, so I need to hit him hard whenever I hit. Therefore, I need a lot of items to be able to dish out tremendous amounts of damage. And we've got Hayate, which is a really, really strong, if not one of the strongest AD carries in the enemy team. Let's see who is going to be their jungler and who is going to be their solo laner. I just immediately forgot about the loading screen that you guys usually don't see. Yeah, they've got Florentino in the jungle and they've got Irie on the solo lane. So I would say still strong picks. So the team composition of the enemy is actually quite powerful. And we're going to see if we are able to manage to get through that offensive line. They've got a lot of damage coming up against us with Flash, with Hayate, with Irie in her ultimate. She's really devastating. And they've got Florentino, which is still one of the best warriors in the game. I mean, they changed him a little bit, so now he's going to be a little bit more crouch focused. Before he was more on the solo damage against one single target, so now they made him more into some kind of crowd control stuff, but we're going to see how that turns out. I just fought a fight with Varys in a one-on-one against Florentino. I stood no chance. Like that was crazy, that match. Whenever I was down to 0 health, Florentino was still alive with at least 80% of health, so I didn't stand a single chance against him. But let's see how this jungler is going to maneuver through our lines and if he is able to unload his combos against us or if it's not the case. So we've got Flash right now who has his ultimate, so that's something that we need to be aware of. It's not really a matchup of my dreams. Flash is super mobile, he got a lot of damage, he can just jump in and then jump out. As you can see, he's just done that. If he would have hit me with his ult, if I wouldn't have flickered, I would have been dead. Quite dangerous to recall here because he might just tower dive me with his first ability, unleash his second ability, and then just retreat back to safety with 1 or 2 tower shots upon his sleeve. But fortunately, he did not do that, and as you can see, the team score is actually quite good at this point. 3 minutes played, 4 kills, 3 on our side, 1 on theirs. So everything is open. We are still able to win this game without any crazy losses. We just had a 10-minute game today where the enemies completely wrecked us. So fortunately, that is not the case. So now Flash is using his ultimate. I was thinking about using my ultimate here, using it more for minion clearance instead of something else. And something that I did discover on Natalya, which I was not aware of, is that your cooldown on the S1 is actually going to be shorter if you hit more targets with those bolts. So this is really crazy. You are able to deal tremendous amounts of damage in a really short time. And you can see that right now. So there's a dead Hayate. There's a dead Abyssal Dragon. And Annette is being short of being dead as well. So we did a really good job on that team fight. Now I've got Tome of the Reaper, which means I can reduce the healing amount of the enemies by a huge number. Florentino was putting himself into a securing position here with his I think it must have been the enchantment here, so that was the Frost Orb. And now we're good to go. So I was just going back here, but I've got my S1 ready again. And now I was dazed by the new Annette spell. Unfortunately, I was killed by Irie, but I managed to put some bolts into her as well, and therefore I retaliated right at the second when she was killing me. So I had the power to defend myself, and I'm sitting on a really comfortable 3,000 gold here thanks to Alchemy, and I think we can work with that. Time for a little drink. So, to be honest with you guys, I mean, I'm always honest, but to be honest, I thought that Flash would give me a harder time in this matchup. I was seeing my chances being diminished to a minimum, and I think the last auto attack just killed him here. So, yeah, I mean, if you execute your stuff, you should always execute it nicely, and that was a little bit too aggressive for my kind of taste, because I was able to get him here. He was fighting myself and Arduin at the same time, and that's not really a favorable fight that you want to pick up. I mean, I'm sitting on level 8 right now. As you can see, I'm doing really, really good damage here, and that is something that Natalya is known for. Like, she is the damage dealer queen on single spot target, and she can do really great in team fights as well, because she's got just so much damage. If you buy the boomstick, it's going to increase even to more damage, and you should always be good if you land your spells, and it has become a bit more easier. Look at that damage. That wasn't even a full combo. Like, I was just using my first spell. I was using the ult. Okay, yes, the facing was awesome. He was just running into my beam flare, however you want to call it. But look at that Annette. She doesn't even stand a single chance. Like, she was just there and then she was gone, and that's how good Natalya's damage is right now. She is just doing so much damage. So if you are using her, 30 or 40% of damage are not even out of your range. It's not something that you need to dream of. It's actually there. You just need to do it. You just need to execute it. It's possible in every single kind of way. So Joko's playing a really good game here. He was the random player, so I'm playing with Arduin, I'm playing with Poira, and I'm playing with Ignis here. So that was the game plan, and look at that right now. Like, yes, you turn a little bit slow when you are in the ultimate phase, but if I would have switched a little bit quicker back to my normal state, I might have even been able to put some damage into Irie with my S1, but it was sufficient damage to make her repel and go back to base instead of fighting me when she was executing her ult. And that should tell you something. That's going to be an indicator how good the damage on Natalya is. I don't know what the situation was here. So I saw that he was about to enter the fight. There we go, another kill. I thought that would have been my kill, but unfortunately it wasn't. So I saw that the enemy is about to enter the fight, and I immediately switched to ult, because then I'm getting a little shield, and sometimes the shield is enough to make your team work around you, and you will stay safe without any harm. So it is something that you can use quite defensively. Look at that Joker. 10-1-7. That's enormous. That's a really, really good game. So I think we dealt quite well with the enemies. 21 versus 6 right now. 10 minutes have been played, and we are on the better spot. So we've got the game in our hands right now, and now it's just a question of time. We just need to execute this quite nicely and transport this overall advantage into a victory. Pick smart team fights, be there, help the team, group up, and take the important objectives, and everything is going to be quite nice. So here we go, another portion of damage into Irie. Going to slow down that Hayate by a little portion. And look at that, we've got Slayer, so this is kind of something that we can execute quite easy. I was running to the edges of our approach in order to try to fire some bolts into the enemies. As you can see, didn't work out that well. I'm not getting any kills here, but at least I'm doing some poking damage, and that is sometimes enough to enter or to open up a gate for your team so that you can go in and just tank the tower. I tank the tower with my ult. That's how Natalya works. That's how you can play her. It's crazy. The damage output is just insane. Like, here we go. We've got now Irie in her ultimate state. We've got some of the enemies approaching us. We've got another double kill on the Joker. Unfortunately, I do not get any kills, but at least I do get some assists here. And this was the time where we actually thought about, well, should we just take on the last hero? Is that possible? Flickered in here, used my bolts to get the 6th kill of my career here with Natalya, and now it's just a matter of time before we can take down the core. And unfortunately, Flash is the one to be revived, and I just wanted to save my life here. Pointing everything in the wrong direction, not hitting my spells. Of course, that's important if you want to succeed. I've got no mana right now, so mana is definitely something that you should always keep an eye on, because it is something that is going to deplenish quite quickly if you are firing out your stuff constantly. But I am the gold lead. Yes, thanks Alchemy. Really good sport. We're about to build Frosty's Revenge here as the... oh, we've got Frosty's already. I'm building Last Secrets here as one of my last items. And now it's just this item and Holy of Holies, which is standing between us and the full build approach. The enemy tries to get the tower, but yes, our clearance is just a little bit better. And I just used my ult strategically here again to block the damage from the flash. I guess if I would not have been Natalya with an ultimate where you would just get such a big shield when you activate the ultimate, I would have been dead 2 times as well. So we will be on a 6-4 right now. So luckily we've got the shield and we can make it work. And I guess this is about to be the final approach. Enemy team is dead. Irie is about to join the fight later on. 3 seconds remaining. Pura gives us a little health boost here. And so now it's just Irie and Flash standing between us. But we are able to get the core with ease. And that was game. So I guess... I don't know how you guys feel about it, but in my opinion, Natalya is just doing crazy the amount of damage, and that's awesome to play with her. Pura gets the MVP here, so well done, Moon. Let's check the detailed report here. So 10-9 wasn't even doing the best stuff, but 23.9% damage, that's fine. I could have done a little bit better, but the fight participation was alright. So yes, there's room for improvement, but I don't want to make it worse than it was. The game was actually really good. 6 kills is fine, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If yes, thumbs up. If no, thumbs down. If you haven't subscribed, that should be something that you should really consider. And yes, as always, stay safe, be a nice player in the game, and watch the channel in 2 days because there's a new video to come. Bye bye.